Hi, my name's Gail and welcome to my channel, Gale Force Winds Travels. About 6 months ago, I made the decision that I was going to leave my job in the Midwest of the USA and accept a teaching position at a university here in Wuhan, China. So on my first video, I would like to share with you 10 reasons why I decided to leave the USA and move to China this year in 2025. Before I get into the 10 reasons, I do want to give a shout out to all the YouTubers that I watched while I was getting ready for this journey. They offered a lot of advice, and also I was inspired by their travels. However, a lot of these YouTubers were young men in their 30s and some young women in that age demographic as well. And then there were some older men in my same age demographic, but they moved to different parts of Asia and got married to Asian women there. So there weren't a whole lot of just single women not looking to be part of a couple doing YouTube channels out there. So I'm hoping that my experience can inspire you, especially in your 50s and looking to move abroad. So here we go with our top 10 reasons. The first reason that I even started thinking about this was the economy. It was getting so expensive to live in the US. I'm an HR director. I made a pretty decent salary in all my positions, but it was getting increasingly difficult for me to save for retirement. The housing costs were growing. Gas, the fact that you need a car, there wasn't mass transportation in my city. Just all the overhead, the insurance that you had to buy for everything just to protect yourself. So the economy and the cost of living was my number one motivation for even considering moving overseas. The second reason I decided to move in 2025 was job related. It kind of goes along with the economy, and I did not lose my job. I was happily employed in a role that I liked, actually, but the economy and the way it was affecting companies and the way private equity was taking over and just some of these kinds of things was making my role as an HR leader increasingly difficult, increasingly stressful, having to navigate some of these complex situations. And quite frankly, and I'm going to be very blunt, I believe there's a leadership crisis in our country. I believe that the C-suite, the integrity of the C-suite is not where it used to be. So it makes it very difficult for HR to be the conscience of the organization when you have to also be partnering with your C-suite who maybe isn't functioning with that level of integrity that you would want. And so I was stressed out by this. I'm a highly empathetic person. I'm very passionate about my job. I'm good at my job. I keep my employees safe. I retain employees. I fight for employees. I lead healthy change. I do all the things a good HR leader should do. And so I was extremely burnt out last year. I was exhausted. And while some of my colleagues were deciding to retire early, I took a hard look at myself, and I really don't want to retire. I enjoy work. I love people. I love educating. I love teaching, and I love change, and I love encouraging people. So this was something that I knew I could do that would be something different than retiring, and I would be able to have fun with it. So that was my second reason. My third reason for moving to Asia from the US is safety. It's just safer over here. People can't have guns. The crime is a lot lower. And so it's much easier for me as a single woman to be able to travel and explore and, even do simple things that I enjoy, like taking a walk in the evening by myself. Our crime in the US is just getting out of control. There's so much drug use, and the gun laws are way too lenient. And so on this side of the world, they're just stricter about those kinds of things. So it makes for a safer environment for me to live my life and enjoy it. The fourth reason that I decided to move over here now, back to Asia, and I was 59, I did turn 60 while I was here, is just thinking ahead about retirement. I'm not wanting to retire anytime soon. I love working. I have energy to work. I love students. I love work. But I need to be thinking about retirement and the economy in the US and the overhead and everything that you need to live in the US. I don't think I'm going to be able to afford to retire there. I made some life choices with my marriage, and I did some caregiving for family members. So I don't have the savings that I should have to be able to retire in 10 years or 15 years or whenever. And so I wanted to get back over here and see, do I have the energy to teach English again? Do I like teaching English? Do I think it's fun? Could I do it for 15 years? And do I like living in Asia again? Like, can I do this? And so far so good, but I'm only 3 months in, but that was my fourth reason. My fifth reason for moving when I did was because of my age. So I was 59, and the cutoff age for China is 60. To get a new job, but usually if you get in when you're in your 50s, you can stay. So I have a lot of friends who are over the age of 60 that their contracts keep getting renewed, but they were here before, when they were in their 50s. So I was 59, and it was a now or never thing. My friend had referred me to this university position in Wuhan, China, and I thought, hey, this is now or never. If you want to go, you're going to go, and it's a now or never thing. Otherwise, you're never going to be able to teach in China. So I came. Now, I had lived in Asia before. I lived in Taiwan for a while, but I was teaching preschool, so I'd never taught university. So this is a brand new thing for me. These kids are awesome. I knew it was going to be good because of the Chinese culture, and the students are very nice. They're just nice students. So I knew the work was going to be good. I knew it was going to be rewarding just based on my past experience. But there's a lot of new stuff that I didn't know, and I'm having a blast. The work is just play for me. It's just so much fun. I'm having a lot of fun with these students. Reason number 6 is obviously the love of travel. You don't move to a different country if you don't enjoy travel and you're not curious about other cultures. But I also love traveling in the U.S. There's a lot of places I haven't been in the U.S., but again, it's expensive to travel in the U.S. And so over here, it's just not that expensive. And China is a massive country. But from here, where I'm living in Wuhan, China, it is like 4 hours by high-speed train to go to a lot of different places because I'm right in the center. And then even in the city alone, this city itself is massive. It's like 9 times bigger than New York. So there's so much to do. And by living here and living, not just quickly coming for a week and then going back home, like I live here, my stuff is here, and I work during the week, and on my days off, I can zip out and take a little day trip here or there, and I can experience the culture more, it's more natural to me, and I really enjoy that. I love walking the streets and just being in different places. So that's my 6th reason, just loving to travel, but I love slow travel the best. The 7th reason is twofold. So it kind of goes back to the whole age thing again. So the first part of it is that my responsibilities are completed. I moved to Wisconsin. I had been living in Asia. I actually got married in Asia. I had my baby in Asia, but then moved home for family. I moved there for my husband, who's no longer with me. I raised my son in the U.S., in Wisconsin, and I was there for my mom. So all those things are completed now. My son is a grown man and on his own, and I got to thinking, wait a minute, hey, I'm not married to the city. I've got a robust community here, but we've got technology now, so it's easy to stay connected to your community. Like, I've been thinking about going back to Asia for years. Why not just go back? So that's part of it, is just my age and the freedom to be able to do this kind of stuff now. And then the second part of it is that I actually have had several friends pass away. We had our 40-year high school reunion, and a lot of people weren't with us anymore. And then some people just aren't healthy enough. They don't have the physical capability to do what they want to be doing. And so I really got to thinking, like, hey, I've been thinking about this for a long time. A, I'm free. B, I still can do something like this physically. So, let's get on with it and not just keep procrastinating. If you want to do it, because you don't know what your health is going to be or what's going to happen. So that was my 7th reason, related to age, health, and freedom. My 8th reason is related to growth. So I don't know if some of you would resonate with this, but I'm 60 now. So you think about, maybe I have 20 years left, 25 years left, and I'm going to stay in the same city, go to the same restaurants, go to the same festivals. For me, I have always I'm not that kind of person that just stays in the same place, lives in the same house. Sometimes I wish I were. I might be more content, but that's just not me. And I after 22 years of living in my same city, in my same state, I was like, oh, here we go again, the same festival, the same this, the same that. And I just was bored. And so I wanted to get out and do some different stuff. And so this was an opportunity for me to do that. It's something different, it's something new, it's fresh. I always have something that I'm gonna do, and it's gonna be different and fun. And so, so growth was my 8th reason. My 9th reason for moving to Asia is kind of along the lines of growth, right? But this is about adaptability, which I have watched people, you know, during the last 10 years, taking care of my mom and seeing some people in her age demographic, how set in their ways they were, how unadaptable they were, and how miserable it was making them. And so I just don't want to be like that. And I really wanted to push myself and give myself a challenge and see how adaptable I was. You know, I was very adaptable when I was 28 and moved to Asia. But am I still this adaptable at the age of 60? I wasn't sure. So I wanted to get out here and just try it. And the answer is yes, I was still adaptable, and you can be too. Change can be good. My last and 10th reason is for the global community. There's something really special about moving somewhere and becoming friends with people that live in this place, right? They see the world differently from you. They have different habits. They have different culture. They value things differently. And so it's really a way to grow as a human, and for me, to learn to see life through people of a different culture. Some of my best friends I met when I was in Asia back in the 90s. They're Taiwanese, and they're just lovely human beings and some of my closest friends. And then, you know, I also met expats, so I've got friends from all around the world from when I lived in Taiwan. And now I'm meeting more people over here in Wuhan already. I've been here 3 months, and I've met people from probably 15 different countries. We're working together, and I've joined some groups. And so it's really something special to be among people. We're all living in a foreign land together. And so our people have interesting stories, and you know, to me, I just love seeing life through the eyes of someone who's lived in a place other than where I've lived. Sometimes our world can become so small when we just look at life through our own little neighborhood or our own state or our own city. And I love being able to open up my world and broaden my horizons through the eyes of the friends that I meet around the world. So that's my 10th reason. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, I invite you to join me in my journey as I live here in Wuhan for a year. I will be sharing what life is like in Wuhan for me as a single woman. I will be traveling around China a little bit. I'll take some day trips outside of the city. My best friend is coming. We're going to do a big China trip this summer, so I'll share some videos of that. And I hope that my channel inspires you. If you're looking to leave the US and move abroad, I hope that you can feel inspired by the fact that I moved over here as a single woman, and I'm safe and having a great time. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.